palace. The Naga said to the teacher, "In the future, don't bring the Sramanera." When the Sramanera returned, he applied himself one-pointedly to practicing generosity and observing discipline, only praying that he would become a Naga soon according to his vow. One day when he was circumambulating the temple, some water appeared under his feet. Then he understood that he definitely was about to become a Naga. He went to the shore of a great lake at the place where his master had previously entered to go to the Naga. He covered his head with his kazaya and entered the water. He died immediately and changed into a great Naga. Because his merits were great, he killed the other Naga and the whole lake became red with blood. A little later, before this had happened, his teacher and the entire community had blamed him. But the Sramanera had said, "My resolve is fixed and the various marks that I am about to have a Naga's body have already appeared." His teacher and the whole community had gone to the lake to see him throw himself in. Such is the reason that one is attached to smells. Padumapafazutta. There was a bhiksu living in the forest. Walking along the banks of the lotus pool, he smelled the perfume of the lotuses. His mind rejoiced and, passing by, he experienced feelings of fondness. The goddess of the pool said to him, "Why have you abandoned the foot of your tree, the place where you were sitting in meditation, and have come to steal my perfume? Because of your attachment to perfumes, the fetters that were asleep in you are awakened." At the same time, a man came, went into the pool, gathered a mass of the lotuses and went away with his load. The goddess of the pool was silent and said not a word. The bhiksu then said to her, "That man destroys your pool, takes your lotuses and you say nothing. I just walked along the pool and as soon as you saw me, you insulted me and blamed me for stealing your perfume." The goddess of the pool answered, "That common evil man is always wallowing in the stench of sins and stains up to his head in impurity. I do not talk to him. But you are an honest man practicing meditation. However, by being attached to perfumes, you destroy the good that is in you. That is why I reproach you. If there is a black spot or some dirt on white immaculate cloth, everybody notices it. But this bad man is like a black spot on black cloth which nobody notices. Why question him? It is for all these reasons that the desire for perfumes is condemned." 4. Rejecting pleasant tastes. Why condemn tastes? One must reason and say, "Just by coveting exquisite tastes I will suffer all the sufferings. They will pour molten copper into my mouth, I will swallow balls of burning iron. If I do not consider the nature of foods, feelings of gluttony will be established in me and I will fall into the level of the impure insects." The Sramanera who loved cream. There was a Sramanera who loved cream and was always thinking about it. Each time the generous donors distributed cream to the community, he received the remaining portion. In his mind, the love of cream was deeply planted and his joy never went away. At the end of his life, he was reborn as an insect in a cream pitcher. The teacher of the Sramanera had attained the state of Arhat. One day when the community was sharing some cream, he said to the bhiksus, "Gently, gently. Do not hurt the Sramanera who loved cream." The monk said to him, "That's an insect. Why are you talking to us about the Sramanera who loved cream?" The teacher answered, "This insect was once my Sramanera, always coveting the remainder of the cream. This is why he has taken birth in this pitcher." The insect was in the portion of milk which the teacher had received. He showed himself and the teacher said to him, "Cream lover, why have you come?" Then he took the cream and gave it to him. The crown prince who was poisoned by fruit. In a kingdom ruled by King Yufen, there was a crown prince who loved exquisite tastes. Each day the king's gardener sent him fine fruits. There was a big tree in the garden at the top of which a bird was raising her chicks. This bird always flew full speed to the perfumed mountain, took a fruit of delicious flavor and returned to give it to her chicks who, in arguing over it, let one of the fruits fall to the ground. Next morning the gardener noticed it and, finding it strange, brought it to the king. The king admired the perfume and the extraordinary color of the fruit. The crown prince saw it and asked for it. The king, who loved his son, gave it to him as a gift. The prince ate it and appreciated its flavor so much that he wanted to have one every day. The king called the gardener and asked where the fruit came from. The gardener said, "This fruit was not planted. I found it on the ground. I don't know where it came from." The prince groaned, wept, and refused to eat. The king reprimanded the gardener and commanded him to find another one. The gardener went to the place where he had found the fruit, noticed the bird's nest and saw the mother arriving with a fruit of the kind in question in her beak. He hid in the top of the tree with the idea of taking away the fruit, and, when the mother appeared, he took the fruit from her and brought it to the king. He did this every day. The mother bird, angry with the gardener, gathered on the perfumed mountain a poisonous fruit, the perfume, taste, and color of which were completely similar to the previous fruit. The gardener carried away this new fruit and offered it to the king. The king gave it to the crown prince, but hardly had he finished eating it than the flesh of his body rotted and he died. The taste for flavors is such that, to satisfy it, one risks one's life. For all these reasons, attachment to tastes is condemned. 5. Rejection of pleasant touchables. Why condemn touch? Touch is a flame that gives rise to all the fetters. It is the root that binds the mind. Why? The other four instincts, the need to see, to hear, to feel, and to taste, are each limited to a part of the body, but the instinct to touch is spread over the entire body consciousness. Its place of arising being vast, it produces a lot of passions, and the attachment to which it leads is tenacious. How do we know that? If a person, attached to beauty of the body, contemplates the body's impurities, which are 36 in number, he experiences feelings of disgust. On the other hand, if he is attached to pleasant touch, it feels good to know impurity, he does not covet sweetness in the least. To consider the impurity of touching is of no use. This is why this instinct is so tenacious. Furthermore, since it is so difficult to renounce it, one is always committing grave sins because of it, and one will fall into the hells. There are two kinds of hell, namely, cold water and burning fire. In these two kinds of hell, one will suffer punishment as a result of bodily touch. The poison of the pain will take 10,000 forms. Touch is called the place of great darkness, the most dangerous path of all. The story of Yasodhara. Yasodhara's lengthy pregnancy. Moreover, in the Lohia Lo Mao Penchang King, the Bodhisattva Sakyamuni had two wives. The first was called Kiupiya, the second Yejotiolo or Yejotiolo Hia Lo Mao. Gopa, being sterile, had no children. Yasodhara knew she was pregnant the same night that the Bodhisattva left home. After his departure, the Bodhisattva practiced asceticism for 6 years. Yasodhara was pregnant also for 6 years without giving birth. The Sakyas asked her, "The Bodhisattva has left home. Whose fruit are you bearing?" Yasodhara said, "I have not committed adultery. The son that I bear in my womb is truly the descendant of the crown prince." The Sakyas continued, "Why are you so long in giving birth?" She answered that she did not know the reason. In public discussion, the Sakyas asked the king Suddhodana to inflict a suitable punishment on her. Gopa said to the king, "I would like you to absolve Yasodhara. I have always stayed with her, I am her witness, and I know that she has not committed any sin. Wait until her son is born and you will see whether or not he resembles his."